Welcome to Coruzant Technologies, home of the Digital Executive Podcast.
Welcome to the Digital Executive. Today's guest is Doug Roberson. Doug Roberson is the Chief Technology Officer at Allterco Robotics, makers of the award-winning Shelly Smart Home products. Shelly's line of proven smart relays, plugs, and sensors are uniquely designed to deliver the flexibility and connectivity needed to make home automation, smart buildings, and IoT-based products a reality. Doug is often tapped by the media as a home automation and IoT expert and is the leading technical liaison between Shelly and its network of North American distributors, OEM partners, and installers. He also collaborates with third-party partners to foster continued Shelly product compatibility and integration, along with helping manufacturers improve the ways in which they use Shelly solutions. Doug has been building computers, experimenting with electronics, and working on networks since his teens. Prior to joining Shelly, he developed ZBot, a Wi-Fi-based home security system, and worked as a software engineer. Well, good afternoon, Doug. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Absolutely. This is awesome. I get to speak to another colleague, someone in the tech space, Chief Technology Officer. So, Doug, I do traverse the world. I get to meet new, amazing people every day like yourself. And so we're going to start by jumping into the questions so we can get your story out to our audience. So, Doug, let's talk about your career a little bit in tech. You were a software engineer, you're an entrepreneur, and now you're the Chief Technology Officer at Allterco Robots. Could you share with our audience the secret to your career growth and what inspires you?
Would you believe hobbies? Every position I've had in my career has been related to skills or technologies that I've taught myself, mainly because I enjoyed it, whatever it was. I like to learn and I like to overcome failures, which is the entire process of mastering a hobby. I just happened to pick ones that allowed me to take on this position. I'm not a traditional chief technology officer. I'm more overseeing sales engineering for the Americas and also adapting and developing products for our electrical systems. I took on smart home as a hobby. And at one time, I ran a Facebook group that was dedicated to helping people get good information about the topic without a lot of nerd rage. You know, a place you could send your grandmother to, and she wouldn't get a lot of sass, basically. And that's how I came into contact from the team from Allterco. I learned about the Shelly brand products and quickly realized how special they are. And I put them everywhere in my home. I really became the first person in North America to master these devices.
Thank you for sharing, Doug. I appreciate that. I like the analogy you used for the example of how you got into the space and how you can, have that conversation between the technologist and your grandmother. So again, appreciate the share. And switching gears, Doug, a little bit here, could you tell us how your innovative IoT and home automation devices are changing the way we live at home?
Well, it's actually very interesting because these devices are intelligent at the point of control. Normally, what you consider a smart home product is really a connected product, and the intelligence is somewhere else, whether that's a hub or a software platform or someone's cloud server. These devices each have a built-in server of their own. They have open and license-free APIs. They have a built-in micro JavaScript editor that allows you to write custom features. They have other features. For example, since they're Wi-Fi products and they have two Wi-Fi radios, they're able to act both as a client and also as a range extender. And they also have built-in Bluetooth, so they're able to access data from battery-powered sensors, both Wi-Fi sensors and Bluetooth sensors.
Thank you for sharing. Appreciate that. We have a bunch of folks in our audience here that love to get into the nuts and bolts of technology, and I appreciate the share on your product line there. Doug, you're obviously leveraging some new and emerging tech in your tech stack. Is there something you might be able to share with us today?
As I mentioned before, our products have a number of specialty features. They have the ability to network with each other, to control each other through APIs based on data that the device might collect, whether it's through sensors or through its own operations. Our products that have power measurement can work together with energy meters that we use to collect data about solar generation or the total consumption of energy in a building, and then decide what circuits are most important and disable secondary circuits. Why would you care about this? For example, if you're on solar and it's late in the afternoon and your generation is sort of falling off a cliff, the devices can say, well, I've got this much energy available. These other circuits are considered secondary. Let's turn them off to extend the period of time before we have to switch over to grid power and start paying for electrical consumption.
Thank you. And again, the nuts and bolts is what really makes the world go round here for our audience. Got a lot of technologists here. So thank you, Doug. And Doug, last question for you today. Could you share something from your career experience that might be helpful for those looking to grow their career in tech or leadership?
Well, as I mentioned earlier about hobbies, I like to overcome failures, and failure is actually a great inspiration to achieve. The bulk of my career in IT was actually spent in a couple of dead-end jobs. The first, I spent 15 years as a QA manager. The work was fun and rewarding. I had a great group of coworkers. It was very interesting and challenging work, but the compensation was sort of lacking. The second position, also a long-term slot, I was better compensated, but it was a very small business overseen by someone with a sort of a difficult personality who would tend to make snap judgments about people. And that was sort of how he shoehorned you for the rest of your time. And I actually once told him I was underutilized and I could do more. And he actually said, "You haven't earned the right to do more." It's a challenging personality, like I said. And I wasn't really satisfied with my day job. I did a lot of side projects. I did some work on a couple of IoT projects. I did my own security sensor back before they were a dime a dozen. I learned a lot about product development, about iterations and improvement of product. The first time it's never right. Again, learning through failure and through iteration. Everything I've done professionally, I've basically taught myself. But my very best jobs have been the result of great people who liked my approach to things and took a chance. For example, I'm here because two people, Svetlin Todorov and Dmitry Dimitrov, believed that I could help this company succeed. And so now I actually have the most challenging and interesting work of my career. And it's something that I never actually studied in school in any fashion. So if you're willing to teach yourself and you're willing to learn from mistakes and failures, you can have opportunities that you really don't expect.
Thank you. And I appreciate you sharing some of those bad times or the down times in your career, right? That's helpful for people to, understand and relate, and just shows people here in our audience that you can overcome challenges and do something that you really love. So thank you, Doug. I appreciate that. And Doug, it was a pleasure having you on today, and I look forward to speaking with you real soon.
Thank you, Brian. It's been a real pleasure.
Bye for now.